So I haven't posted a new video in a while, and that's because I finished my master's in sociology last May, and a lot has been going on. Last video I made that's online, I had made in out in Colorado visiting my daughter, and I'm obviously back in Washington in my room. Um, yeah, it's been a very, very rough. Well, I wouldn't say it's rough. It's been fun, but I've been super busy since I got back. Um, And that's actually what I want to talk to you about, how things sometimes get stormy in your life or they suddenly get busy and it seems like there's so much going on and you don't have time for God. Um, I've still made time for God. I don't want you to think that that's what I've done. I just knew I was ahead on videos as far as what I post on my Facebook page. So I wasn't concerned with getting any done. And now I'm coming down to I've been so busy and I haven't had any time to get any new videos out. So I'm trying to do that while my grandson is running around the house. You might hear knocks on the door, or my daughter trying to get him to go to bed. So yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy last few months with the coronavirus. I hope you're all doing well. Um, that has completely disrupted a lot of things, but it's opened opportunities for people. Not just for people who are already working to work at home and have more time with their kids, but it's also opened an opportunity for those of us who can't really work outside the home too much because we have too much going on, and it allows us to adapt our schedules to our children, our grandchildren, our families. So that's been one positive thing, and that's kind of the whole idea. When we have a lot going on in our lives, sometimes it's because there's a miracle inside that storm or inside that chaos that's going on. There's something very important happening. And looking at the coronavirus, it would be the world is in chaos. I mean, I live like an hour from Seattle, and my son lives up above Seattle. So anytime I want to go visit, it's a new path. I don't go through Seattle. I drive clear to the other side of Puget Sound to Port Townsend, and I take a ferry for 30 minutes over to um, Coopville, which is on Whidbey Island, because he lives in Oak Harbor, and then I drive there, and then I have to take the ferry back. So it's kind of a drive. It's not super bad because part of it's on the ferry, but even the ferries are packed because no one wants to go to Seattle. So inside of all this chaos and all this extra mass, we're seeing it all over the country. So obviously the whole country is in chaos right now. There's a miracle happening in our country, and we have to be aware and we have to be searching for it, just like there's miracles in my life. Because of COVID and because of all the chaos, jobs at home have opened up, and going into work is a whole new thing now. It's more relaxed. It's more on your time. It's more at your convenience. Um, for some things, I mean, I suppose that there's people who have to go into work in grocery stores and places like that they have a schedule. But people who aren't normally able to leave the home to work, and they've been sitting home because they can't leave the home to work because of issues of some sort, they now have the opportunity to start picking up these jobs that are on the internet, or are wrapped around schedules, part at home, part not at home. There's a lot more opportunity for people. Even people who live on the streets can now, if they can get Wi-Fi and they can get a laptop, they can do customer service from anywhere. They can do most jobs from anywhere, even coding jobs and other jobs. And so inside of all the chaos within this world, we're still finding all these miracles. Lives are changing. People are actually getting jobs and they're doing things. They're sitting at home, but they're finding ways to make things work. And I think that all the chaos has caused a miracle within this chaos that has helped the American people. And finding that positive is what we need to do in our own lives. In the middle of our chaos, in the middle of our storms, and I'm sure I've told you guys 100 times, there's always a miracle in there. It's just that all this chaos is trying to distract you from it. And the point is to look for the positive things that happen in your life. The fact that you can have your groceries delivered almost for free now and not even have to leave the house. There's all kinds of jobs opening up, even Uber and um, Postmates and all of those delivery jobs. People are doing those things more now to make money, which actually helps us. Because the more people who are doing it, then the cheaper we get it. And the more often we get it, and we're helping them and they're helping us. We can stay home if we're sick. We can stay home with the kids. We can adapt our schedules and make things work around everything else. And that's an important survivor tip to realize, is that even when it seems like things are falling apart and things are really bad, that there's positive things happening in our life. And if we can find just one, I used to tell people that if you thank God for half a piece of moldy bread, He's going to reward you tenfold with 10 loaves of bread. And that's kind of how it works. If we start seeing our lives and we find the positive thing and we start thanking God or being grateful for that one positive thing, then suddenly we start seeing all these positive things happening in our lives. And it's because our perspective changes when we look for positive things. So even in this chaos, even inside the COVID, and even around all these unreasonable situations and around death and all the sadness, there's a miracle in there. And all you have to do is keep looking. You just look for it, even if it's just you woke up this morning or the sun's finally out, or maybe you need the rain. Thank God it rained. If we start looking for one thing to start being thankful for in our lives, it helps to change the perspective of our heart. And we start to see better things in this world. We start to see how things, even when they're bad, they're good. And something always good comes out of it. And that's my prayer for you this week. In Jesus' name, I pray that you start to see that inside of your chaos, there's always a positive. And that you start to see all these amazing blessings that you have in your life. And you start to realize just how often they happen. And you learn to be the survivor that no matter what situation you're in, and no matter how negative it seems, you're going to hold out that hope for that positive. In Jesus' name, I hope you find that hope. And as always, believe and make it so.